Italy is the only place where you can do anything you want in a Ferrari. Speed limit and F that, So there's a long trailer truck going, and it's a 120. Generally, I think the speed limit is 120 on a 4-lane, 6-lane. I was doing 200, somewhere up there. I'm going, and as I get near the cabin of this, I'm coming up, this truck is going at whatever, 120. I see a police car right in front. Man, I go, whoa, 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 brakes and all that. And I'm going past the police car. And the cop, he rolls down his window and he's like, what are you doing? Go for it. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, oh, and go, yeah. And I'm looking in the mirror and that guy's like, ah, policeman. And wow, Italy, I love you. My first Ferrari started, I got to drive it after 7 years of being in this auto journalism. Yeah? So, you always have to start at the best way to do it. You become a better driver, what the car's doing, by building your experience. So, it took me 7 years. It can take you less, maybe more, I don't know. The first Ferrari was the 612 Scaglietti. The Ferrari was doing a magic tour around India, which is these two 612s driving right around India. Autocar was helping them do the route planning and some of the backup and all that. So they brought these cars, they did the trip, and finally they invited a whole bunch of journalists to Ambi Valley, Lonavala, to drive the car in a closed circuit. So it was hardly a 5-10 minute drive max, with one Italian sitting next to you shouting at you if you do something stupid. So I didn't do anything stupid, but it was still a Ferrari, and it's a V12 Ferrari, the first time I've ever driven one. I was very happy. Went back, wrote a story and all that. The Ferrari I remember, the best trip I did was 458 Spider. For the launch, Ferrari called a bunch of journalists from India to Maranello, and you get to drive the car for a day and bring it back, and the idea is you come back and write the story in the magazine. I'm like, damn good, I'll do it. Yeah, and luckily Shapur, Hormaz, they all like, yeah, you go for it. I'm like, I couldn't believe my luck. I'd just been to Maranello to drive the California a month before, and now this is happening. Fantastic. So I went to Maranello, and the thing with Maranello is when you get there, everybody is Ferrari. Okay, so our bus driver, he's driving us from someplace, from the factory to the hotel, I think, and there's a orange Lamborghini Countach parked in a garage, local garage there. So us all journalists, we are like, the bus tilts this way because all of us jump and go, oh. And the bus driver, you know what he does? He opens his window, poof, closes it and keeps driving. That's how passionate they are, okay? Yeah? So we get, that night we sleep in the hotel and all that. In the morning I wake up to 40 cylinders. Yeah, they've come, the Ferrari guys have brought the 458 Spiders to our hotel. The 5 of us journalists, I think 5 or 6 of us journalists, 6 cars, so 1 car per person. Okay. And they typical Italian fashion, everything's cool, no? Here's the key, you pick your color. I was like, I want red, give me red. Took the red, I actually got a white, but then Anubhav, another journalist, luckily said, I don't care what color, you take the red. Okay, done. Thanks, man. So we get in the cars, and this guy is telling us the basic ideas. We drive this route. There's no lead car, nothing. It's all on maps, yeah. We drive this route that, we take the route that Enzo Ferrari did his first road race on. Okay? Go over that, drive towards the Mediterranean coast. We've got this hotel for you, lunch organized for you there. Have lunch, and you drive back to this thing via the highway. I said, sounds good, damn good. He said, please bring the car back by 6, but if you get later than that, just leave the key with the security guard. Okay, fine. It is a Ferrari, no, not a Fiat, no. Okay. So we start off, yeah, one car per person. I can't believe it. The cars, it's still my favorite Ferrari because it's the last naturally aspirated V8 that they have. It's a mid-engine Ferrari. It's you can take the roof off. I mean, the roof goes down, and then you can hear that exhaust like here, just like here. It's mind blowing. I mean, I went to that road where Enzo Ferrari, I forgot which route it was, but the road where he went on his first race. And I'm just driving up and down. They've got a photographer there, said do a couple of laps up and down so we can get some shots of you. And there's an old man walking, I remember. And he's had like, this is a many day event. Some journalists from all over the world are coming and driving this car on the same route. So I think that day he had enough. So I'm coming down again, third gear. Oh, no! And this guy is standing there on the corner. He's like shaking his stick at me. And I'm like, oh no! Yeah, keep going. Get to lunch, no problems. Fantastic day of driving. Yeah, I even managed to slide it a little bit, put that thing off, and the Manatino, or put the thing off, get it a little sliding. No, I didn't push it too much because I don't want to go back and say I crashed a brand new Ferrari. Got to lunch, no problem. That's when the adventure started. Okay, so now they're giving you a full tank of gas in the morning. Yeah, it's just about enough to go there, and then you got to be careful. You got to get it back. So those days I didn't have much money. Not that I still do, but yeah. So I'm driving back, and I took one wrong turn because the sat nav was there, the multiple this thing going. So instead of going that way towards Maranello, I went that way. Yeah. And now I'm not realized that I'm just enjoying the car. There's like 6 tunnels, so I'm going through these tunnels full bore. You know, going on second gear and then third, fourth, fifth through the tunnel. It's mad, okay? Like at one point, I remember this school bus going through the tunnel, yeah? And the kids have heard the car come. So they all like faces, you know, on the thing, and they're waiting for the car to come, yeah? And I'm going, and they all like, and I'm, whoa! Yeah, through the tunnel. So that happened. Then the cop, man. So Italy is the only place where you can do anything you want in a Ferrari. Speed limit and on F that, you know. So there's a long trailer truck going, and it's a 120. Generally, I think the speed limit is 120 on a 4-lane, 6-lane. I was doing 200, somewhere up there. I'm going, and as I get near the cabin of this, I'm coming up, this truck is going at whatever, 120. I see a police car right in front. Man, I go, whoa, 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 brakes and all that. And I'm going past the police car, and the cop, he rolls down his window and he's like, what are you doing? Go for it. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, oh, and go, yeah. And I'm looking in the mirror, and that guy's like, yeah, policeman. And wow, Italy, I love you. Keep driving. I've now lost my way. I've gone 120 kilometers that way. And the cars, obviously, it's now range, fuel light, reserve light and all has come up. I'm like, shit, what to do, not much money, how much petrol do I put, how far is it to Maranello, I don't know. So I finally find a petrol pump, and there it's a self-service system. Fill, go pay what you fill in. This guy has seen the 458 and come running, Shell Power, he's come running out of the thing, and he's like, I'll fill it. I'm okay. He's like, how much? I'm like, how far is Maranello? And he's like, whatever, those things. So I was like, 10 euros? He's like, 10? He realized I'm definitely not the owner. I'm some idiot who's driving it. So I saw his face. I'm like, okay, 20. He's still like, disappointed. So I'm like, fine, 30. He's still like looking somewhere else. I'm like, 50. Okay, fine, 50. Please get out of here. Yeah, so we go drive the car back. Luckily, no damage. Had a brilliant day. Actually, got there later than the thing, so I actually gave the key to the security guard at the factory. Then that trip also had a lot of other things. Yeah, so there's this very famous restaurant. I forgot her name, man. But mind-blowing food. And when you walk in, all of Ferrari's Formula One drivers. there are pictures of all of them in this restaurant. A lot of Hollywood celebrities, whatever. The biggest one, her favorite one, the owner's favorite one. She's an old lady, old Italian lady. Her favorite one is the biggest one on the wall when you walk in. Is Michael Schumacher standing in the kitchen and cooking in her kitchen. Yeah. We've gone there for dinner. We're having dinner, and I step out for a cigarette with Anubhav, and suddenly one guy is walking past in his shorts. So Anubhav, I was like, Anubhav, dude, I think that's Alonso. Like, where? Alonso's walking in. He's just come from his jog. He's walking in. So he has dinner. We have dinner. We're walking out, and he's standing near his car. Whatever. I forgot what car it was. Very casual sneakers. One leg up on the bumper, standing and talking to his friends. And I was like, Alonso. And he's, yeah, you want a picture? No, come. Very, very, very nice guy. Took a picture with me and chatted. I don't remember what I said to him. Also, because like blah. Yeah, damn good. Yeah, they took us to the thing about the Ferrari experience. When you go there, they'll show you the whole factory. So they'll take you to the V12 plant, the V12 line, the V8 line. They'll take you to the engine plant because that was a new engine plant then. And they have trees, greenery all over inside the plant. And they have a lot of old Ferraris. Yeah, not the vintage ones, not the really valid, the 80s, 90s, 2000s cars, yeah? Parked in the engine plant. So I was like, why these cars here? And especially the car that I drove in India, the Scaglietti, that was also there, yeah? So I was like, why are these cars here? He's like, no. So when these guys are building these engines, they know what these engines are going into. So they can come whenever, have a look at the cars or do whatever with them and then go back and continue work. Good idea. So Ferrari has this certification program where you own a Ferrari, you can send it to them and they will certify that your car is original and everything's genuine and it's got a good service history. So basically what happens is you get that certification, the car's value goes up. So a lot of owners do it. So they take you to this one room and you're suddenly looking at an F40 with its rear deck lid open, twin turbos sitting in your face, the intercooler sitting in your face. And the F40 is my all-time favorite car. So I've already wet my pants. Then you look around somewhere as a 275 GTB4. Yeah, you look somewhere else as a 250 LM lying completely split in half because you've taken the engine out for whatever service. And these are cars that they're my boyhood fantasies, yeah? And I'm standing next to them and like trying not to drool on the thing. Yeah? It might lose its value, So that's one place. They have this where they restore their old F1 cars, and they have this customer. It's called the Corsa Clienti, I think. Yeah, where you see the FXX, the 599XX, and the Formula One cars. So the actual old Formula One cars. Including the historical Formula One cars. Yeah? So you walk into one room, there's a bunch of historical Formula One cars, again, engines open, one wheel is off, they're doing some work and this thing. Walk into the next room, it's full of Enzo XX and 599XXs. And you're like, and you walk into the third room and it's full of Formula One cars. Full means wall to wall, yeah. You don't know what to do, you're just standing there and yeah, it's one of those. It's one of the magical. If you like Ferrari, who doesn't? Yeah, it's one of those magical places to go to. And when you go as a factory guest, they show you everything, everything. They're just happy to this thing.